Chelsea Football Club is the gift that keeps giving, but in this case it's giving curses, because it looks like Christopher Nkunku is out for the rest of the season. Because I'm not expecting him to be out for 4 weeks when all we've seen from him is setback after setback after setback. And the reality is, we might as well write off the season for him. Then we need to start talking about Gary Neville's comments and how he has rattled Mauricio Pochettino. And it was very evident today by Pochettino's reactions. This guy is in Chelsea, man, and I'm going to explain it. We're going to preview Chelsea versus Leeds. We're going to see Pochettino's commentary about his relationship with the owners, how he believes he deserves more time, and more importantly, how he thinks the more time he gets, the more of a chance he's going to have to recreate what Pep and Klopp have done. And for me, I don't think so. I think he needs to be moved on. And finally, he talks about how the players are ready and focused for the game, and he tells us the insights about how they've reacted after that final. Today's video is going to be an interesting one. You've made it this far. Clearly, you're enjoying what's on hold. You're enjoying what's going to be spoken about. So I need 2 things from you. If you're new, subscribe. It's the best way that you guys can help the channel grow, and you'll receive your Chelsea content. And if those of you that are here consistently, hit the like button, and what I've given you in return, great football related content. Now, let's stop wasting time and let's get into it. Ratuji, we have got a massive issue. Christopher Nkunku's injury record is horrible. Ever since he's had that initial knee surgery with France, missed the Qatar World Cup, nothing's been the same. I'm not just quoting Drake lyrics and Drake albums here. Literally nothing's been the same. The man's been injured more than he's played. He's been hurt more than he's available. Feelings are gone all over the place. It's to the point where we can't count on him anymore. He is as injury prone as a Wesley Fofana and a Reece James. And that's the truth of the matter. A lot of people aren't going to like that. And for me now, he's in the tenure of what the hell do we do with him in the summer? Do you sell Christopher Nkunku in the summer and try to recoup some of the money? Do you bring him back next year and just hope something's going to change? Because personally, I would keep the player. But I'm signing someone to be a starter ahead of it. Because there is no way we can go into next season expecting him to stay fit and not expect that history will repeat itself. Because this is 2 seasons in a row. He's had a heavily disrupted season. And this year's worse than last year. Mauricio Pochettino says they didn't even know he was in. It's just something that happened the next day after the Wembley game. And for me, the reality is, it's evident, right? Chelsea are rushing this player back. There is no way his body is breaking down this quick unless they're rushing him back. They've changed personnel in the medical staff, but yet the same issues keep happening, which tells me either we're signing injury-prone players, which I was very worried about when we signed Noni, when we signed Carney, when we signed Nkunku, or we are literally not taking care of these players once they're through the door. Because it can't be that these players have played games consistently in their career, however they come to Chelsea, and all of a sudden their injuries tenfold. They become much worse. Another player that has been injury-prone and is on the mend right now is Reece James. Reece James is back on grass. He's running around. Romeo Lavia and Badiashile are in individual training. They're speeding things up, and they're expected to return sometime in March. However, we can't blame players for getting injured. Like, at the end of the day, no one wants to be injured. But you can get frustrated at the situation that we're currently in. We're in desperate need of quality. Lavia, Badiashile, James, Nkunku all add quality to this Chelsea team. All add dependency, add experience, class. And Pochettino most probably can't wait to get them back. But at this moment in time, I've got no clue what's going to happen next to Chelsea, because it just looks like everyone keeps getting injured. Mauricio Pochettino in his press conference today, the key takeaway took away the fact that he spoke with Igbali and he spoke with Todd Boehly in 2 different ways. Todd Boehly sent him a very lovely message apparently, and it was something that was very reassuring. He did not want to disclose the details regarding that message. However, he said he met up with Igbali in the evening for dinner, where they got to talking and had a nice conversation. Personally, for me, I don't like this, right? And not that he's got a good relationship with the ownership group. For me, it's frustrating that the whole conversation is about his future. From now till the end of the season, this is all that we're going to talk about. The fact that Mauricio Pochettino, is he going to be here? Is he going to be gone? And Mauricio Pochettino today in a press conference sounded like a man that was panicked. He sounded like a man that is holding on to his job. He sounded like a man that was beefing everybody. And I actually felt sorry for him. Because if you think about it, right? The fact that he even mentioned, there was a whole narrative that I didn't shake Todd's hand. It's not true. Things that I said was lost in translation. And All the excuses were coming out. And you know what really annoys me? If you can't speak English to a level where you think what you're saying is getting represented in a correct way, get yourself the translator that you had at Southampton. Get somebody to speak on your behalf and then teach the media a lesson. If you're going to take me out of context, guess what? Enjoy having transcripts from my translator, because that's what you're going to have to do. It's just creating extra work for them. It's going to frustrate them, but at the same time, then he can't argue that he's being misquoted. Here, Pochettino also went on to say that stability is key. If it was up to him, he would be in a job. However, there's no guarantee that he's going to be in a job next year. There is no guarantee, and the only people that can guarantee that are the directors and the owners. And he wants to believe that they're going to have faith in him in the long term. Then he bit back at the moose from TalkSport. He did not appreciate the question when he was saying who gets time. And he was like, what do you mean who gets time? Klopp and Pep. Look what they've built. And for me, that's so disingenuous, because I've actually done some research and I looked at it, right? Since the 21st century, teams that have been most successful: Real Madrid, 37 trophies. Guess how many managers they had? 17. Bayern, 46 trophies, 12 managers. 15 managers, 22 trophies. Barcelona, 15 managers, 37 trophies. Inter, 21 managers, 21 trophies. Juventus, 13 managers, 24 trophies. That is in a space of 24 years, because it's 2024, but look how many managers these clubs have been running through. There's no such thing as, we'll build for the future, and in the long run it'll work perfectly. Klopp has won, I think, 6 or 7 trophies in his time at Liverpool. Pep is an anomaly. He's like Sir Alex, right? You get one of those every blue moon where they're just winning everything and anything. However, outside of them, there's no consistent guarantee that you're keeping a manager breeds winning. Arteta's done a great job at Arsenal. I'm first one to admit it. However, Arteta hasn't won much. In 4 years, he's won 1 trophy. And it looks like this season they're most probably going to go trophyless again. And yet some people are going to say, yeah, but they're progressing in the right direction, which I agree. And I think the style of play that they're building is entertaining to watch. It's exciting. Their fans are behind it. But they're going to need trophies, or sooner or later Arteta is just going to become a lame duck manager where people aren't going to take him seriously. You need results. You need to breed them. And for me, Pochettino is not that manager. He's not that guy. And what really highlighted to me was he said, Gary said what he said, he's allowed to say what he said, and he's my friend, he's allowed to have an opinion, we can disagree. Do you really think Antonio Conte, Jose Mourinho, Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, Sir Alex, you can go through all the best managers that have ever coached, would allow Gary Neville to say a comment like that and make a mockery out of his team without biting back? Do you think anybody would allow that? This just highlights to me that this man, I believe, is grateful to be in the job that he's in. I think he's out of his depth. I think this is a level too high for him, and it's illustrating in his press conferences, in his in-game management, in his persona of how he is a manager at Chelsea Football Club. He walked in Mr. Big Bollocks and wanted to show the world, look at me, I'm absolutely amazing, with his a silk shirt, and will try to be positive. And you know what? A lot of people, including myself, said, you know what? Poch has got some kind of swag on him. The PR was on point. Pre-season spoke the big game, spoke very positively, showed us very good football that all of us were saying, you know what? If we see this, doesn't matter where we finish. As long as we see this entertaining football, we know we're building in the right direction. Come Nottingham Forest defeat, everything went out the window. CD's got dashed out the car, and all of a sudden, all of us are fuming. I don't understand what's going on here, and Pochettino's words in this press conference are reiterating an individual that is a beta. He is not creme de la creme. He is not the top echelons of managers. He is not a 5-star restaurant. This man is not the best cuisine you can find in this particular country. This man is a very good Nando's meal that you will enjoy consistently, but the reality is, after a while, you will say, I want better quality food and I need to be at a higher echelons of place, considering the money I'm spending. And for me, that's the harsh truth. People won't like it. He is not the main piece of chicken. He is the garlic bread. He's the spicy wings. He is the corn slaw. Anything. What I found very interesting from Maurizio was he said a lot of our players are young and they're learning from this experience, and this is some of their first final. Like, they all of a sudden have 120 minutes of under their belt. And that, for me, tells me everything I need to know. He used this as a learning curve. He used this as a lesson experience. He used this as a celebratory point. For me, it's not. He said if we won this final, the narrative would be different. My friend, I understand we played well for 90 minutes. However, we can't pretend that the extra time didn't happen, because it did. And what was damning about the extra time was it looked even worse than you believe. More worse than you believe. We gave the initiative to them. He said he was misquoted, that he didn't say that we settled. He said the players felt like they were ready for the penalty. So he's basically throwing the players under the bus. And for me, that's unacceptable. I genuinely think that is unacceptable. The way he said it, like, oh, they felt it was, they were too tired. Stop misquoting me. There's nothing to do with misquoting. Say what you mean and say it how you want to say it. And just stand 10 toes on it, Chris Broussard style. Stop being chatty-patty about it and running around. For me, this is what frustrates me with this manager. And tomorrow we've got Leeds. And guess what? We'll most probably beat Leeds. I think Chelsea will beat Leeds. And everyone will be like, oh, it's great. And then what? Brentford away. We're going to lose that game. And that's what really annoys me, is because we're not building anything, we're just going topsy-turvy. And a lot of you are going to say, Alex, you're being negative. I'm not being negative, I'm just being realistic. Like, we've had, 35 games under Mauricio Pochettino? Like, maybe a little bit less. I don't see consistency. If anything, I consistently know that we'll win one, lose one, win one, draw one, win one, lose one. Like, that is our consistency. That is our reality. So why will I come on here and lie to you lot? Because you're all educated people. You all watch the Kavkas View. That's the first time that you're educated. You know what I mean? You're spending time watching a good, credible source like the Kavkas View. But the reality is, we've seen it, guys. Like, we've seen what this season has brought. For us, it's a matter of seeing this out. I've been really naive. I've been really annoyed with myself with how much optimism I'm hoping. Oh, you know what? 13 games left. Oh, if we win 9 of them or 10 of them, we could, in and around, somehow Spurs lose their games. I'm trying to talk myself into nonsense. Like, because that's exactly what it is. Spurs have to lose 4 games for us to catch them. In that time, we have to win all our games. That's not happening. We're not going to win all our games because this team's not capable of doing it. We're not set up right. We just have to have title winning form to do it, and we're nowhere near ready. So for me, the hope is we get to the end of the season. They say, bon voyage, arrivederci, arstaro piano, adios amigo, like in any language you want to see, like paka, da svidaniya, hasta luego, in Portuguese, whatever languages they needed to tell Pochettino, mate, see you later. Thank you for everything you've done. But we need to go get Ruben Amorim. We need to go get a De Zerbi. Go get somebody that will give us some hope. Because I've lost all optimism for this manager. I genuinely have. I watched the 22 minutes of his press conference today. And honestly, I was bored. Genuinely, I was like, this is just excuses. I've heard this 1,000,000 times before. After a certain point, and I'm going to leave you guys with this, right? Project can be great, but unless you're getting wins, people will lose faith in it. And for me, this is exactly it. You can sell me on the idea of this, but unless you're showing me where we're going, and we are in February, nearly in March, and our season basically feels over. A defeat tomorrow would mean our season is over. So I hope they're keeping our season alive. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts. Guys, I'm sorry if I'm being negative right now, but it's how I feel. Peace out. I'm out. Bye.